An animal that has a broken upper leg or this,
Maybe.
they're gonna have a different opinion on them. Am I being right? Or what?
Could be. That's part of the beauty of Torah, that you have
Jew, right?
different opinions, sometimes strongly held different opinions. Okay, today's daf is daf Ayin Ches. We begin, thank you, on daf Ayin Zayin Amid Beis. We're dealing with the issue of an animal that gives birth to a placenta, but not to a child, to a placenta. So we saw all sorts of things about that yesterday. We're at the two dots. Hamavakeres shehi pila. If an animal is giving birth for the first time, so it's petarechem, but what comes out is a placenta. So if what comes out is a placenta, said the Mishnah, you can just throw it to the dogs. You can assume it's not bechor. So the Gemara has to understand why. So my time, why could you throw it to the dogs? Amar Rav Ika, Raid Rav Ami. Rav Ika, the son of Rav Ami, explained, Rov behemos yoldos davar hakadosh bebechora, umiyot yoldos davar she'eno kadosh bebechora. So it's true, most animals, when they give birth to a child like themselves. So a cow normally gives birth to a calf. A sheep gives birth to a lamb. But there is a minority of cows that doesn't give birth to a cow. What comes out of the cows, as we saw before, a nidmeh, some other freak creature. So out of the cow came something looking like a dog. Out of the cow came something looking like a bird. Out of the cow came something looking like a sheep. So those would not have the status of bechor, of firstborn. Well, my new nidma, these are things called nidma, things that don't look like the mother. Now, so that's a minority. But besides that, you have 50%. And when you have giving birth, 50% are girls, 50% are boys. So 50% are females, they don't have bechor. Plus, in addition to the 50% that don't have bechor, because they're females, you have another percentage that there's no bechor because they're freaks. It's a cow giving birth to a chicken. It's a cow giving birth to a dog. That dog, even though it's the first thing out of the cow's womb, is also not going to be bechor. So therefore, smoch miyuta de nidma. You take this minority of the unusual looking lemechtzad in a kevos to the half, which is females. So 50% plus a little bit more, havlu zchar miyuta. So then, what would have the status of bechor, the mother giving birth to a male, is actually a minority. It's a minority because 50% plus something more is not bechor. So since it's a minority, we can follow the majority. So now that we don't know what came out, because all that came out is the placenta, we don't know what was in the placenta, we can't see anything, we just see the placenta coming out. So now we say, since most of the options are going to not be holy with bechor, this is not holy with bechor, and we throw it to the dogs. However, uva mukdashin, if the animal giving birth to the placenta was a karban, then to cover the placenta has to be buried. We cannot throw it to the dogs. Why? My timer. Why? Because ruba bar mikdashu, the majority of the possibilities is going to be holy. Because if you have a holy karban and it gives birth to a girl, that's also holy. The only time it wouldn't be holy is if it gives birth to a nidmet, give birth to a freak. But how often is that going to happen? That the cow's giving birth to a sheep, or the cow's giving birth to a dog, or the cow's giving birth to a bird. So since the great majority of the cases of what it's giving birth to are going to be holy, and when there's a placenta, the great majority of the times there is a child there too. Maybe the child is broken up, but there was a child there as well. Therefore it is holy, and it has to be buried. Then finally the Mishnah said, Ve'in kovern also, whenever an animal gives birth to a placenta, we would not bury the placenta on the crossroads, and we wouldn't hang it on a tree, because that is darkei ha'emori, that is the ways of the Amorites. In other words, that is superstitions that are not allowed. Hashem gave us a mitzvah, tamim tiyeh im Hashem elokecha. You have to be whole in your faith with God, your Lord. You should be trusting God. You shouldn't be a superstitious person, as the Rambam says, a person shouldn't say, oh, I just saw a black cat walk across the front door, so I'm not going out today because it's going to be an unlucky day. Or I see that the clouds up there are a little gray, that's not a day to invest in the market. That's not the way to do things. We should not be superstitious. We should trust God. You can say, listen, I did Averos, so maybe it's not going to work out. That's okay, but because that makes sense. But to say that because of some superstitious sign, I'm going to do X or I'm not going to do Y, that's not correct. So here too, we're not allowed to take a placenta of an animal and hang it on a tree or bury it on a crossroads to create some type of good luck because of Darkei HaEmori, the ways of the Amorites. Said the Gemara now a rule about Darkei HaEmori. Abaye v'Rava Dami Tarvai, Abaye and Rava both said, Kol davar sheyesh bo refuah. Anything which is done as medicine to heal. Ein mishum Darkei HaEmori, even though it looks superstitious, but if it works, it heals people. It's not Darkei HaEmori, it's allowed to be done. It's allowed to be done. Ein bo refuah, but if what's being done is not necessarily healing people, yesh bo mishum Darkei HaEmori, then there's a prohibition of Darkei HaEmori. You're not allowed to do it. So I'm going to ask 1 second. If you have a tree that drops its fruits, sokro b'sikra, you paint the tree red. To'ano ba'avanim, you hang on it, you load it down with big, heavy stones. Bishma to'ano ba'avanim, I can understand you to hang it down with stones. That's something of a natural healing. So that it's weak, so that its strength will be weakened. As Rashi says, because it's so fatty and so fertile, the fruits are falling off. So you weaken it, it's not going to produce such good fruits anymore. The fruits will hang on. But why do we paint it red? Apparently, it's Darkei HaEmori. So you see that you can do Darkei HaEmori even though this is not to heal someone. My answer is no, that's not based on Darkei HaEmori. It's not superstition, painting it red, and that's miraculously going to make it better. You paint it red, so the people will see that it's an unusual tree. There's a problem with this tree. We painted it red. Oh, if they see there's a problem with the tree, they'll daven for it. When someone asks Taras, the Torah says, "V'tamei tamei yikra," and he's to call out and say, "I'm tamei, I am tamei." Why is he broadcasting that he's tamei? Isn't that embarrassing? Why is he telling everybody his problem? No, you should tell everybody his problem. Sarich lahodia larabim. He has to tell everyone. He has to tell the majority of what's going on. Why? So that Rabbim Evachim Alav Rachamim, so that people will pray for him. So that's an important thing. You see a tree that has a problem on it, you say, 1 second, why'd they put a sign on it? They're saying, please pray for it. And the more people who pray for something, the more help it will get. I was reading a shmooze that Rav Gershon Edelstein gave last week in the Yeshiva of Panovich. He said, when we pray for physical things, sometimes we get it, sometimes we don't. No guarantees. He said, but when you pray for something spiritual, like to learn Torah better, or that your Torah should stick with you and you remember it, or you should have your Yirat Shamayim and listen to God better, there's a guarantee that the prayers work. He said, Rav Yisrael Salanter used to give speeches, and at the end of the speech to the crowd, he used to say, please, everybody here, do me a big favor. I'm asking of you one thing. Pray for me, that I should merit to have Yirat Shamayim. I need the Rabbim to pray that I should have Yirat Shamayim, that I should fear God, and I should listen to God's laws. Please I want you all, I'm begging of you to please pray for me that Hashem should have Rachmanus, I should succeed in my spirituality. And when I was in Israel recently, somebody told me that there's this rabbi who's very popular, Rabbi Arush. So Rabbi Arush, he apparently relates that part of what really led to his growth, he had a lot of problems in his life, and he asked everybody to pray for him. Baruch Hashem, by asking a lot of people to pray for him, things got better in life. So that's a Gemara. The Gemara says, people think, I don't want to share my problems. The Gemara says the opposite. Tell people your problems and ask them to pray for you. The more people pray for you, you don't know who's the tzaddik, whose prayers are going to be the ones that help. So the person with tzaras walks around saying, I'm tummy, everybody daven for me. Tummy, yikra. Sarach lo diel rabbim, he has to inform the community of rabbim avakshin of rachmim, and then the community will ask for mercy for him. V'chein yishir bo davar, and anybody who has an event happening to him, sarach lo diel rabbim, tell the community. Rabbim avakshin of rachmim, the community will daven for him. Amar Ravina said, Kiman talin and kufsa b'dikla. Like, who is it that we are doing that we hang a cluster of dates on the date tree? You know what we're doing? It's this Tana. Because when we have a date tree that's dropping its dates, we hang a cluster of dates on the date tree. Everybody looks at it, they say, it's strange. What's a cluster of dates doing on the date tree? So they say, oh, something's going on here. What's going on? Oh, they ask, they find out, dates are falling, you have to daven for the tree. And then when people are davening, when lots of people are davening, the tree has helped. So that's not Darkei Mori. That's to ask people to daven for you. Asking people to daven for you, that's very good. That's a way to get help. Hajin Allah be'ezrat Hashem yisbarach behema mekasha hadrach Allah. All right, so now we begin another book, another volume in the Masifta that Izzy so kindly got for us. It's already volume 5 of Maseches Chullin. Wow. We've got 7 volumes from Masechta Chullin. Amazing. Baruch Hashem. Big Masechta. All right, so the next chapter of Maseches Chullin deals with another aspect of animals, and that is a mitzvah of the Torah of Oso ve'es beno lo tishchatu biyom echad. That the Torah says, V'shor oseh, an ox or a sheep, cow or a sheep, Oso ve'es beno, it and its child, lo tishchatu biyom echad, don't slaughter on the same day. So if the mother was killed that day, or if the child was killed that day, then the other one can't be killed that day. Because if it would be killed that day, it would be a violation of Oso ve'es beno. So that's the topic of this chapter, the laws of Oso ve'es beno.
But if they kill the mother, the child dies too inside.
No, separate.
Oh, separate.
It's separate.
Oh, is that, oh, boy, oh.
If the shochet who slaughtered the mother can't slaughter the child the same day.
How about the other way around?
Also not. If the child was slaughtered, so then you can't slaughter the mother that day, because if you slaughter the mother, it would be the mother and the child on the same day. And now says the Mishnah, Oso ve'es beno, it and its child, noeg, that applies, bein ba'aretz, in the land of Israel, bein b'chutz la'aretz, it applies outside the land of Israel. Right, so after the mother is slaughtered, if then one goes to slaughter the child that day, if he slaughters the child that day, get malchus, get lashes. It applies b'fnei habayis. It applies in the times when we had a Beis Hamikdash. It applied when we didn't have a Beis Hamikdash. Now that we don't have a Beis Hamikdash, you still have the law of Oso ve'es beno. It applies b'chulin. It applies to animals that are not holy. Uvemukdashin, and to karbanos. Let's say you have both the mother is a karban and the child's a karban. So once you slaughter one, you can't slaughter the other that day. And if you did so, you would have ruined it from being a karban. Right? Let's say you have a mother and a child. They're both shlamins. And you slaughter the mother in the Beis Hamikdash. So now if you slaughter the child, even if it's done in the Beis Hamikdash, it would get ruined because it's a violation of Oto ve'es beno. So that would ruin it from being a kosher karban. So now we're going to learn about a concept called shchutei chutz. When you have a karban, you're not allowed to slaughter the karban outside the Beit Hamikdash. Another law, similar, is called chulin ba'azara. If you have something which is not a karban, you can't slaughter it in the Beit HaMikdash. You can't slaughter that which is not a karban in the Beit HaMikdash. You can't slaughter what is a karban outside of Beit HaMikdash.
That's Korban Pesach, right?
No, Korban Pesach also has to be slaughtered in the Beit HaMikdash.
Well, there was one that could have been, right? Wasn't there one?
The Para Aduma, but that's sort of like a half karban. It's called chatas, but in many ways it's not a karban. Okay. So now let's go through all sorts of scenarios about a mother and a child in the Beis Hamikdash and out of the Beis Hamikdash. Ketzad, how do we have examples of this law that Oso ve'es beno applies to Kachim and to Chulin, in the Beis Hamikdash and out of the Beis Hamikdash? So let's take example number 1. Hashochet Oso ve'es beno Chulin. Let's say you have 2 animals, they're both not holy, the mother and the child. He slaughters them both on the same day, b'chutz. He slaughters them both outside of the Beis Hamikdash. Okay, so he did an aveira of slaughtering the child. So even though he did an Aveira, it is a kosher shchita. So he can eat the mother and he can eat the child. But for doing the second shchita, because it was not allowed, it was slaughtering the child after he had slaughtered the mother, so if he gets harbaim, he gets 40 lashes.
Even if he didn't know about it, only if he knew about it.
No, to get lashes, he
know
has to
about
be
it.
warned, he has to accept the warning, but he'd get lashes for it because it's violating a lot.
Rabbi, is it if he kills both, or if he just kills the second after the first one was killed that day?
Only for the second.
What I'm saying is, if
He
Gabriel
says
could
that.
have slaughtered Calais and I could slaughter up Yom.
Exactly.
And
You
the
would get
day,
it.
is that a 24-hour period, or is it like 1 minute before midnight, 1 minute after midnight, it's okay? Or
I think
Jewish
it's a
day,
Jewish
whatever.
day.
Jewish
It's a
day.
Jewish
So-
day.
So
The night and the day.
if
The
he
night
does
and the
one
next
at
day.
right before Mincha and one
Yeah.
after Myron,
Yeah,
it's
well,
okay?
next
That
year.
would be different, right? I believe so. Okay, now, kachin bachutz. What's the scenario of kachin? So if you have two animals, a mother and a child, that are both karbanos, and he slaughters them both outside the Beis Hamikdash. So Harishon chayev kares. For the first one, he's already getting kares for shchutei chutz, for slaughtering a carbon outside the Beis Hamikdash. Ushneim psulim. And for both of them, they are no longer kosher karbanos. Ushneim sofkin es harbaim. And for both, he gets malchus. He gets malchus for the first one for shchutei chutz, and on the second one he gets malchus for oso ve'espino losish chatzu biyom echad.
But
Let's
he
see.
already get carrot.
It's double.
He gets kares for the first one. That's right.
But what would he get then? Carrot and
80
lashes.
He gets both.
80 lashes?
You're asking because of Kim Levi name.
Yes.
Well, it could be two different people. Let's say you have two different people shechting, and it's two different actions. So, but you're saying the
It's the
first
same guy.
one, yeah, all right. Maybe you didn't get a warning for the kares, and with that going, if you didn't get a warning for the kares, maybe there'd be no Kim Levi name. You could get kares for the first one, plus you could get lashes. Next case, chulin mifnim. Let's say you have a mother and a child, both not holy, both slaughtered in the Beis Hamikdash, in the Azara. Shneim Sulim, both of them now cannot be eaten because it's Chulin Ba'azara, so then it can't be eaten. Vasheni, the second one, Sofiga Asar Baim, would get lashes for Oso Ve'es Bino.
Why is there two malchus by the
Shchutei Chutz is a malchus, and Oso Ve'es Bino is a malchus. Yeah, it's a love. Alright, next case. Kachim Bifnim. Let's say you have a mother and a child, both karbanos, in the Beis Hamikdash, and they get slaughtered in the Beis Hamikdash. So Rishon Kasha, the first one now is Kasha, because it's a carbon in the Beis Hamikdash. Upater, there's no problem. That was a kosher shchita. Vasheni, but for the second one, since it was the child, so Vigasar, Bain will get Malchus, but not only that, Upassel, it's not considered a kosher carbon anymore, because you weren't allowed to shecht it that day. Chulin v'kachim b'chutz. Let's say the first carbon he slaughtered, the mother was not holy. The second the second animal he slaughtered was a carbon, it was holy. And both of them were done outside. So Rishon Kasha, the first one, the mother, since it was chulin outside, is Kasha. Upat, there's no violation, he doesn't get malchus or anything. Vasheni, but the second one, a carbon, there are two problems. Number one, it's chutei chutz. Number two, it is a problem of oso v'espino. So for the second one, Sofig es harbaim, he gets malchus. He wouldn't get the lashes of shchutei chutz, because since the mother already was killed this day, so therefore on this day, this carbon is not royal lahakrava. It's not something which you could bring. You have to wait till tomorrow. Shchutei chutz means that something which could have been brought today, don't bring it outside. But you can't bring this anymore. So therefore, just be the violation of oso v'espino upasul, and it becomes disqualified. You can't eat it because it was shchutei chutz. Next case, you have again a mother and a child. The mother is a carbon, is kachim. The child is chulin, and he slaughters the kachim, the carbon, the mother first outside, the carbon outside, and then he slaughters the child, the chulin outside. So Harishon, the first one, gets chayev kares. He gets kares for shchutei chutz. Upasal, and since it was shchutei chutz, it's disqualified. You can't eat it. Vasheni, and the second one is kosher. It's kosher. You can eat it. It was chulin. But you get malchus. Both of them get malchus. The first one get malchus for shchutei chutz, and the second one gets malchus for oso v'espino. Let's see, you have another case. Chulin, the mother is chulin, and the child is kachim, and you slaughter it bifnim, inside. So both were slaughtered inside. So shnei psulim, both are not a kosher shchita. The mother's not a kosher shchita because it's chulin ba'azara. The child's not a kosher shchita because it was osov espino. V'asheni sova gesar b'ayim. For the second one, he gets malchus for osov espino. Kachim v'chulin bifnim. Let's say the mother is kachim and the child is chulin, and he slaughters both inside the azara. Harishon kasha. The first one is kasha because you're allowed to shech the carbon a mother in the azara. Upata, there's no problem for that. But for the second one that was slaughtered in the azara is a child. Okay, but you're not allowed to slaughter the child after you slaughtered the mother that day. So sofa kesarban, you get lashes, and since you weren't allowed to slaughter it, upasol, it also is not a kosher shchita because it's chulin ba'azar.
But the kosher korban?
The first one is the kosher carbon. Yeah, the mother's a kosher carbon. One second, let's just finish all the cases. Then, hashochet b'chutz. I'm sorry. Let's say you have a mother and a child. Chulin b'chutz. They're both chulin. And you shech the mother outside, and then you shech the child bifnim. So Rishon Kasha, the first one was kosher, because it's a chulin, shechted outside, that's fine. Upatra, there's no problem. No lashes or anything, you're exempt from any punishment. Vasheni, but the second, sofigasar bite, the second one would get lashes, because of osov espino, upasel. Plus, it's not a kosher shchita, because it was chulin ba'azara, and therefore you cannot eat from it. The next case, let's say you have a mother and a child, both kachim, both of them are holy karbanos. Bachutz, the mother was slaughtered outside, and the child was slaughtered bifnim, inside. So Arishon, the mother, chayav kares, you get kares for shchutei chutz, for shechting something that's supposed to be in the base hamikdash outside. Ushneim sofkin esar bite, both of them get lashes, because the mother you get lashes for shchutei chutz, and the child you get lashes for osov espino. Ushneim sulim, and the both are not going to be kosher, because the mother is not kosher because it was shchutei chutz, and the child's not kosher as a karban because it was mechusar zman. You weren't allowed to slaughter it at that time because the mother had been slaughtered that day. What happens if you have a case of both being chulin, the mother and the child, and you slaughter the mother inside, and then you slaughter the child outside, chulin bifnim, and then bachutz? So Rishon Pasal, the first one, the chulin that is slaughtered inside, can't eat from it because it's chulin ba'azar. Upater, but there's no lashes for the sin of chulin be'azara because it's not an explicit lav. Vasheni, but the second one, sofigasar bayim, he gets lashes already for that because that's osov espino, but osov espino, as we said, is a kosher shchita. You can still eat from that shchita. And finally, the last case, kachim, if you have a child and a mother, both karbanos, bifnimu bachutz, the mother was slaughtered inside and then the child was slaughtered outside. Harishon kasher, the mother is kasher because it's a carbon slaughtered inside. There's no problems for that. Vasheni, but for the child, sofigasar baim, you get lashes because of osov espino. And since it was shchutei chutz, pasol, the shchita didn't work and you cannot eat
Why
from
not
it.
karet for the second one? Didn't he share a korban outside?
It's mechusar zman.
Ah,
Because since the mother was killed this day, it's not something that she could have brought today to the Beis Hamikdash. So therefore, you don't get kares for it.
Rabbi, the first one, either
You get
way,
lashes, not for shchutei chutz, you get lashes for osov espino.
the first one, either way, either is the mother or the kid or whatever, is correct. Whatever they did, either korbanot in Beit Hamikdash or outside or
No,
shechita.
korban outside the Beis Hamikdash.
I mean, not korban. I mean, talking about just shechting. You know.
But a
Okay.
chulin in the Beis Hamikdash is also not correct.
Because,
If it's not holy in the Beis Hamikdash, you can't go in there.
but
So what happens regular if you shech the chulin and
regular shechting, you know.
becomes treif?
Yeah.
Regular. No
Which
mother.
one is treif? The baby or the mother? When you do regular shaking.
Depends which was done first. Depends
So
where
the
it was
first
done.
one is kosher. The second one becomes
The second one is
Chametz.
also kosher, but it was an aveira of also espino.
So it's treifa then.
Not necessarily treifa. Sometimes it'll be a treifa too, depending on the issues.
It's possible. At the slaughter it gets.
So now we go to the Gemara. How do we know that the law of Osav Espino, that you can't slaughter the child after you slaughter the mother on that day, applies to karbanos? Tamlon was based on the pasuk. V'shor Osav Espino lo tishchatzu biyom echad shor. No, an earlier pasuk. Shoro kesevo is ki v'oled v'yashiv asimim tachas imot miyom hashmini v'hala yeretz el karbani shel Hashem. So the pasuk says, Shoro kesevo is ki v'oled uksiv basrei. Right after that pasuk, the next pasuk is v'shor oseh, and an ox or a sheep osov espeno lo shishchatzu biyom echad. So we have one pasuk saying you have to wait 7 days before something can be slaughtered as a karban. We have another thing of Shor Oseh Lo Shishchatu B'Yom Echad. So why link the two? Just like the first pasuk 27 in chapter 22 of Vayikra is talking about karbanos. So to the next pasuk, I have both psukim here in our margins. The next pasuk, Vishor Oseh, verse 28 in chapter 22 is also talking about karbanos. So one second. So maybe the pasuk is only talking about karbanos. And maybe there is no law in Chullin of Oso Ve'ez Beno. Answer the Gemara, since it says about Oso Ve'ez Beno, again, Shor, right? In the first pasuk it said Shor O Chesed O Eitz. The second pasuk says Vishor O Ses. So why again talk about an ox? We already spoke about oxen. That's the tell you, it's talking about a new topic, and it's dealing now with Chullin. So one second, if it's talking about a new topic, maybe it only refers to Chullin, not to Mukdashin. The answer is, since it says Vishor and an ox, you have a Vav. The Vav is most of Alin Rishon is to link it to the first topic. The first topic is about Karbanos. The second topic is also about Karbanos. So Gemara now asked if that's the case. Ima Kachim Kilayim Lo. One second, maybe we should say like this. Just like in Karbanos, there's no law of Kilayim. Right? There's no possibility of Kilayim. You can't take as a karban an animal that was born from a crossbreed of a sheep with a goat. So maybe say the same thing. If you're going to link karbanos to Osav Espino, Af Osav Espino, Kilayim Lo. Say that if there's a crossbreed of a sheep and a goat, so then you could kill the mother sheep and the child on the same day because the law wouldn't apply to Kilayim. And Alama Tanya, why do we learn in Braisa? Osav Espino knowing B'Kilayim. Osav Espino does apply to a sheep that was inseminated by a goat with that sheep and that sheep's child. And we know Osav Espino applies also to Koi. Koi is also a crossbreed of a behema and a chaya, of a domesticated animal together with a wild animal. So you know Osav Espino does apply. But another problem. Why do we say in the Braisa that Osav Espino applies to Kilayim? The verse says, right, this verse, V'shor Oseh, V'shor Oseh, Osov Espino, Lo Shishchatu B'yom Echad. And an ox or a sheep, him and his child don't slaughter on the same day. So it says sexiv. Rav explained, Zeh, the pasuk, of Zosa Behema Asher Tochlu, Shor, Seksavim, V'se'izim. Vana'av is teaching you a principle. Wherever it says sheep, it's coming to exclude kilayim. So here it said seh, so it should be excluding kilayim. So the answers to all of these questions, the pasuk says vishor oseh. It doesn't say shor viseh. It says shor oseh. A shor or a seh. So the word o is to include. The Rabbi says Kilayim, to include Kilayim, that the child of Kilayim also has a law of Oso, the S, Bino, Lo Sishchatu, Biyom Echad. He and his child don't slaughter on the same day.
Rabbi, hybrids can reproduce?
What's that?
Like a mule. They cannot have offspring.
But maybe how was the mule created?
Oh, I understand that, but...
So its mother, let's say the donkey was with the horse. The horse that gave birth to this mule, that's the law of Osav Espino.
So
Mule
okay.
can't give birth.
Okay, but it's the mother and the mule.
Mule
Yeah.
is,
The rabbi, they know the animals they cheat too.
This asks the Gemara, hi, this verse of O, of or, we need it for something else. L'chalik, to separate, right? That's what it said, shor oseh. I would have thought to say, if it would have said shor viseh, adishachit shor uvno, se uvno, that you only do a violation if you slaughter both a cow and its child, as well as a sheep and its child altogether, four animals in one day. So therefore, right? Unless you slaughter shor ubno seubno lo mechayev, you're not chayev unless you did all four. Kamash says, oh, that no, it doesn't have to be all four. So when it says lachalek, to distinguish, to say you don't have to do all four, we don't need from the word o. That's from the word beno. Oso v'es beno. Beno is his son, not multiple sons. His son. One son, not four, not two sons. So I said, no, but I still need the word o for something else. Look at the time before we learned in a brisa. Had it said, don't slaughter ox and sheep and its son. Now you see, I would have thought to say, when are you violating? If you violate shor, viseh, an ox, plus a sheep, ubno, and a child of one of them. So you have to slaughter three animals. The verse says, shor, oseh, an ox or a sheep, osov, esbeno, it and its son. You only have to, you violate when you slaughter two animals. My lab me o nafka. So presumably we're learning it all from the word o. So you can't use the word o to include chulin. So Gemara says, no, we're learning it from oso. The fact that it says oso ve'espino all in the singular tense, implying that you're obligated not only if you slaughter three animals, not only if you slaughter four animals, even if you only slaughter two animals, it and its child. So 1 second, that works. So Rabbanan went to Rabbanan. The word oso is extra. El Chananya, but according to Chananya, oso, he needs the word oso. So Chalik Minali, how does he know that this violation is not three animals, it's even two animals? So my answer is L'chalik lo tzarich kra. Chananya doesn't need a pasuk to distinguish, to separate it, to say that doesn't have to be three animals, it can be two. Sevla Rabbi Yonasan, he holds like Rabbi Yonasan, who holds that whenever you have in the Torah two things, even without the word o, it would mean this or that, and therefore the word o is extra. The time is learned in a brisa in regards to somebody who's cursing his father and his mother. The verse says, es aviv ve'es imo, a man who will curse his father and his mother, mos you must, he is put to death. Ainli ela aviv ve'imo, so maybe he only is put to death if he curses father and mother together. Aviv shlo imo, if he just curses father, imo shlo aviv, just curses mother. How do we know? How do we know he gets put to death? That's the verse. That's why the verse says, aviv ve'imo kilel. So here it puts the word kilel next to imo, and earlier was isha sheyi kilel es aviv. It was kilel next to father. So that's to tell you whether it's aviv kilel or imo kilel, he gets put to death. Rabbi Yonasan Omer. Rabbi Yonasan says, no. Mash neam ke'echad. When it says es aviv esimo, isha sheyi kilel es aviv esimo, it sounds like he has to curse both. But also sounds like it could be either one. The only time you'd say it would mean both is if the pasuk would say explicitly both together. So here, where it's oso ve'es beno, it doesn't say oso ve'es beno yachtav. By definition, it means either one. All right. So now, what was this discussion about Chananya? Whether the word oso is extra. So that was what Roger was about to ask. My Chananya, my Rabbanah. What's the argument in Chananya and the Rabbanah? The time went in a brisa. Oso v'espeno noeg ben kevos. The law of oso v'espeno is you can't slaughter the mother and the child. They don't know b'schar. It doesn't apply to the father. The father could be killed the same day as the child. Chananya disagrees. He says noeg b'schar and ben kevos. It applies to the father and to the mother. My time of the Rabbanah was reason of the Rabbanah. The time because we're going to brisa yachol oso v'espeno noeg ben b'schar ben kevos. Maybe the law of oso v'espeno should apply both to the father and to the mother. But it makes sense. Chiv kan, we have a law here of oso v'espeno, and chiv beimol abanim, and there's a law of shiluach hakan, of sending away the mother bird in order to take the children. So just like when in Shiluach HaKan, it's to the mothers, but not to the children, not to the fathers. So maybe here with also it's only for the mothers and not for the fathers. On the other hand, look, maybe we should say differently. If you talk about Shiluach HaKan, when it comes to Shiluach HaKan, it has to be ki kareh, that you met something that you owned. But in Osav Espino, in its child, the same thing applies to what you own and what you plan to do, to that which you didn't plan to do and you happen to meet. So Talmud Loma, that's what the verse says. Oh so, meaning it, echad below shnai, it and not both. Once the pasuk said it only applies to one of them, Zachisi ledin. Now I can figure it out from a normal comparison. I can say, listen, the pasuk says it's only one. So now I'll say, here there's an obligation plus with Shiluach HaKan, there's an obligation. So just like there, when it's about sending away the mother before you take the children, it's been a case of you only have to send away the mother, not the males. You have to send away the fathers. So to over here, in regards to Osov Espino, it's been a kevos, it's only with the girls and not with the boys. It's only with the mothers and not with the fathers. If you want to give a different suggestion, I can tell you like this: since it says Osov Espino, you should know Karach Acharav, Beno, his son, namely that parent that has the child hanging after them. Yatsa Zachar to exclude the father. Beno Karach Acharav, the child is not hanging after him. Why do you want to give another answer? Because if you're going to say Oso Zachar Mashma, Oso sounds like the father, Oso him, not Osa, not her. Then the answer is Beno. Since it says Beno, you should know Karach Acharav. It means a child who is hanging after Yatsa Zachar to exclude the father. Shem Beno Karach Acharav, that the child is not hanging after. Okay, Bezrat Hashem will continue.
Sounds like both.